Hey guys, welcome back to lesson 7. This lesson we are going to be talking about choices and consequences, and I've kind of touched on this before in some of the previous sessions, but consequences, that is not just a negative word, it means positive and negative. And this lesson is really about having your boundaries and making predetermined choices as much as you possibly can for what the consequences are going to be for somebody who violates your boundaries as well as for somebody who respects your boundaries. When somebody has shown themselves to be trustworthy time and time again, you should really think about letting them into a deeper level of your inner circle. And not only that, but also you can start taking off some of the safety measures that you may have in place for them as well. So in this lesson, that's really what I talk about. We can't always make clear-cut, predetermined choices, but we can say, generally speaking, this is what would work for me at this season in my life, for where I'm going, for my destiny, and for what I need for right now in my life. I might be in a season, for example, of, again, I'm just going to use building because that's the season of life I'm in. I might be in a building season, but if internally, and that's externally, right? Like I'm building all of these things, I'm growing my business, I'm expanding my ministry. But let's say internally, I'm working through some issues. That is going to impact the kind of consequences that I have in place for people who violate my boundaries, as well as people who respect my boundaries and who show me continuously that they are trustworthy. If I'm just learning how to grow in trust, I might be very successful on the outside, but if I'm learning how to do this, then my consequences and my predetermined choices are going to be different than somebody who has been doing this for a while, and we might still be in the same season of life, but because we have different internal things that we need to get straightened out, it's going to impact that. Really quick, I want to talk about the law of attraction. There's a lot of buzz going around about law of attraction. You attract what you want, you think it, you say it, you name it, you claim it, it comes to you. That is a counterfeit to the actual law, which is the law of sowing and reaping. This is a spiritual principle, meaning it doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't have anything to do with your faith. If you do it, it will happen. It's kind of like the law of gravity. It doesn't matter. Gravity doesn't care what color I am. It doesn't care what religious beliefs I hold. It doesn't care what socioeconomic status I'm in. Gravity is going to work the same way to all people who are on this earth. So the spiritual principle of reaping and sowing is that you will get what you are. So you reap what you sow. So if I am sowing positive words, right, I'm saying, things will go my way today. I am the light. I am strong. I am, attracting powerful people into my life. I can be saying all of these great seemingly sounding words, but if inside I'm bitter and I don't have a way to actually use what's inside does not match what I'm saying, I'm going to not attract the things that I'm saying. So you attract what you are, not what you want. And I share a story in the PDF about how I came to this realization and kind of how that shaped a lot of what I was doing when I was first starting Ashes to Beauty and how I was going to plan to grow it. I realized it had less to do with doing all of the right steps, which that's important, right? Taking care of what you've been given, that's important. It had less to do with that, but it had more to do with the way that I perceived things, and making those internal adjustments, making those internal shifts had very large payoffs for me in the long run. So so far anyway, I hope to see more and more return on that, but so in the exercises for this section, you're going to go through and take a look and see about what you believe. How can you make these small internal adjustments, these small shifts that can add really big dividends into what your return is? So again, you sow something, you're going to reap that same thing. And so if you make these small internal adjustments, you're going to be able to capitalize off of that. And how you do that in terms of your consequences that you set up for people in terms of boundaries and establishing trust definitely plays in, because remember, you are judged by the same measure that you judge others. So if you want people to trust you, but you're not willing to give trust, you're not going to attract it somehow magically. It doesn't work that way. You have to do the actual hard work internally so that you can see the rewards on the outside. You know, your external life is going to mirror what's happening in your internal world. So I will see you in next lesson, which will be lesson 8.